For economics, next topic is non-institutional source of credit available for these rural areas. First of all, non-institutional sources are available, that they are money lender. Money lender, basically they are providing loan, they are providing advances to the farmers, and then when the peasants or farmers are not able to pay it back, then they start to exploit them and charge high rate of interest, and put various useless condition in front of them, illogical conditions. So now their accounts have been manipulated, even because they are with the money lender, and the peasants don't know how to make the accounts, how to pay how to make the entry of paying of the loan. So all these things, money lender is not a good idea for in the case of peasants. But when they need immediate loan, then definitely money lenders are there to provide them without any legal formalities, much legal formalities. Relatives are there. If in the time of crisis, they go to their relatives and take loan, and definitely they also charge high rate of interest, and some exploitation can be there. Traders and commission agents, they also provide loan to peasants by mortgaging their land or their houses. At very high rate of interest, loan is provided to these peasants. Then next, rich landlords. Rich landlords provide loan to all the marginal farmers or all the landless laborer who are working in their own field, and definitely they charge high interest and involve lots of exploitation for peasants, especially small and landless farmer. Then next thing is institutional resources. Institutional resources is a good idea for peasants, but they should be made available to the peasants and with ease, because they involve lots of legal formalities, and it's very difficult for the farmers to go with this institutional sources for the credit. Now, institutional sources, government established these institutional sources with the main objective. That can be asked in the question direct. What can be the main objective? To provide adequate credit to farmers at a cheaper rate of interest, and then to assist small and marginal farmer in raising their agriculture production and maximizing their income. So there were two objectives with the government. First, to make available credit to farmer at cheapest rate, and then to help them in the production process by giving economic assistance. So these are the main two objectives. That's why all these institutional sources have been developed in the rural areas. Now, first of all, the first institutional credit is cooperative credit. So cooperative credit, basically, that is the primary objective of cooperative credit, is to liberate the Indian peasant from the clutches of money lender, basically, because money lender exploit the peasants too much. So that is why government wants that peasants or farmers should take the loan from cooperative credit. But here the official of cooperative credit should be more cooperative with the peasants. They should make things understand to the peasants, and that how they can take the loan, and that is very low rate of interest. So the official working in cooperative credit, basically that is deputed in the rural area, they should be fair enough to provide loan. Then land development banks. Land development banks is another institution. They provide the loan, they provide the credit to the peasants or the farmer after against the mortgage of their land or houses. So in this case, loan are provided for the long term, and that is for a permanent. You can say that loans are provided for the long term purpose, and that can be repaid by the peasant with installment, and there the rate of interest is also very cheap comparatively non-institutional credit. Now next is commercial bank credit. We are talking about commercial banks over there, which have been nationalized in 1969. Basically, after 1969, their branches has been expanded, so that more branches can be in the rural area, and they can provide loan easily to these peasants. Again, that has been again and again pointed out that official deputed in the commercial bank or the rules of the commercial bank should be more liberal towards the peasants. Next is regional rural bank. So basically, regional rural bank, they are opened up in the rural area where no banking system is available over there. So that is why regional rural banks are there to help them, the peasant. The main objective is to provide credit, other facilities to all small and marginal farmers, landless laborer, artisans, and small entrepreneurs in the rural area. This is the main purpose of regional rural bank. particular one point can be asked for 1 mark, or you can ask all the points. So you have to be write very specific. You cannot write randomly, so that your marks will be cut. Fine. So you have to be very specific what type of loan they are talking about, what type of activity they are talking about in a particular institutional source of credit. Next thing is government. Here government is also providing a loan, and that is basically in the terms of in the time of emergency or distress, or like famines, floods, or any other, just like for example global disease is going on. So in all these epidemics, government has to help the poor peasants or poor farmer, and with a very low interest rate. So this is the government which directly come in front of peasants and help them out. Now the next thing is NABARD, which is very successful policy by the government. That is the NABARD. The full form of NABARD is NA for National Bank, for B for Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. That is the apex, means the main bank which coordinate all the financing activities, which is a financial activity or financial institution which are working in the rural credit area. And that NABARD, basically the main objective of NABARD is to promote the health and the strength of credit institution basically over there, so that more and more credit institution must be available over there. And if more credit institution will be there, then more help can be provided to the peasants. And the next thing is NABARD is also providing financial assistance to non-farm activity. Many non-farm activity are established in the rural area, so that people should not only depends upon the agriculture sector. They should start some non-farm activity like hatcheries, like milk, food processing industry, like any small scale industry, so any artistic work. So all these activities can be carried out over there. So for that NABARD is providing financial assistance, and to provide rural development and prosperity of backward rural areas. Now recently the self-help group has emerged as a new type of credit, basically credit facility for the peasants. Self-help group basically for the weaker section and for the women, and providing them employment opportunities even. So that is also known as linkage program for microfinance. So self-help group banks are linkage program, bank linkage program that link the saving of the people with bank basically. Their main focus is the rural poor, and basically so that the all the banking system can be available to them, because you know very well in India you can get the money if you are having it. That is so fine, because you have to mortgage your big asset. You have to mortgage the amount, you have to mortgage your property that will be more than your loan which you have take from the bank. So in this case what happens, that main focus is on providing banking system to rural areas. So self-help group basically target the small and marginal farmers, landless laborer, artisan and weaker section people, and especially women. They promote the saving habit among the farmer, among all these people, so that they save the money and then they pool the money, and credit is given to the needy member out of this pooled money at reasonable rate, and which is to be paid with the facility of a small installment. That is the data given over there. By March 2012, more than 43 lakh SHG have repeatedly been credit linked. Now this self-help group basically they are helping the empowerment of women by giving them employment, and all the negligible section in the or weaker section in the rural areas. Basically self-help group, what they do, they pool their money. Suppose all the member of the self-help group, they save the money first of all, then they provide loan to each other out of that saving. And if that self-help group has been as recognition or registration over there, then that self-help group is linked with the bank. Now they keep their saving in the bank, and then bank provide loan in the name of self-help group to all the members of the group. Now that money which they borrowed from bank, they use for their for providing to each other, and it is the responsibility of all the members to follow up those members who have taken loan from the bank and who are using the money which have been taken from the bank as a loan. So this is all about the self-help group, and this is a very successful program. Now the critical appraisal of rural banking. Basically, although many institutional sources are there, even then you are noticing many problems over there regarding loan, and people in the rural area, they go for non-institutional resources even. And all the efforts of the government that did not go into vain, because due to rapid institutional resources and its branches definitely increase the income and employment and credit facility over there, and ease the life of farmers over there comparatively the past data. So government is having now buffer stock of grains even, so famines is not a part of economy now. So that is why, but there are many problems which have been pointed out over there. First of all, the problem is insufficiency. The credit facility is not available in the sufficiency as it has been demanded. Next, inadequate coverage of institutional resources. So the institutional resources has opened up many branches, although, but there is a requirement of more expansion of these institutional sources, so that peasants, landless farmers, marginal farmers, women, they all don't use non-institutional resources which give them exploitation. So ready money, or the money should be available with these institutional resources to the farmers. The policy should be likewise. Then inadequate amount of sanction. So the amount sanctioned by the bank to these farmers are not sufficient, because they are using this amount for the productive purpose, and they are not earning always profit with the crop. So for that purpose there should be adequate amount of sanction of loan to the farmers. Next is less attention to the poor and or marginal farmer. Definitely loan is provided, again I am saying that here the money is given to those people who are having money, definitely here. So the rich farmer, the rich landlord, the credit facility easily available to those people, comparatively the marginal and landless farmer. It's very difficult for them to get loan from these institutional sources. Now the growing overdues. Many times the problem of overdues happen over there, and even then the basic reason for growing overdues is they are caught in the debt trap. Once they take the loan and they are not able to pay it back due to the bad crop or some other reason, and many times they are asking for money for consumption purpose, not for the production purpose. So in this way they spend their money for the marriages or for the other reason, like for the medical reason, upon the family members, and then they were not able to earn that much money so that they could pay back the loan. And many times necessities are basically they were not able to fulfill because they have to pay back the loan. So in this way they caught in the debt trap. So agricultural loan default rates has been increasing, and many times government has to come over there to to waive off the loan of these peasants. Many times government did that also. So but it is very bad for the smooth functioning of the bank, because bank want to back their dues which is due from the farmer. So here the growing overdues is a big problem, and the government should be there to solve it out with some alternative whatever government is having. Now the banking sector has been developed, but not to that extent which is required, and having deficiency on the following areas. Formal institution must be developed in peasant for the peasant in the rural area, because if the peasant or farmer only think about the institutional sources rather than non-institutional sources, then they can they can help themselves and they will not be exploited. But that can be possible only when all institutional sources are doing fair enough in the rural area and providing reasonable rate of interest and providing all type of facility which is given by the government and conveyed all type of facility to the peasants without any fake and the any you can say that fake and the fraudulent activity, because don't mention it over there, but many fraudulent activity are found from this institutional sources which is available in the rural area. So in the rural area, peasants are already not educated and they are not doing anything. If the people who are deputed over there, they start to exploit, they start to do fraudulent activity for the name of poor, then that will be very difficult for the poor people to have all these facility, and all these facility will go into vain by the government. Now what should be with the bank when they want to provide, what should be with this all credit facility when they want to provide institutional resources, they want to provide to poor people? First of all, bank needs to change their approach. They are not the just lender over there, they are there just to develop the rural area and develop the banking habits among the peasants. So that should be in their mind, and they should provide all type of help to all these poor farmers. And farmers should also be encouraged to keep all their saving into bank rather than to keep in the almirah or with themselves. And the farmers should be encouraged to take loan for production purpose rather for the consumption purpose. So for production purpose, if they'll take the loan, and they will earn more profit, and out of that profit all their consumption need can be fulfilled. So all these things should be there. And there the term is there, that is Tanwa is the term. That is Tamil Nadu women in agriculture. There also the credit facility which is for the women, and that is to train all these women in latest agriculture technique with all the new equipments, and it helps the women to actively participate in the raising agriculture productivity and family income. And that is why that is also work as a SHG self-help group. All type of facilities over there like finance and training and knowledge, all these things are there. So that is basically concerned with the Tamil Nadu. Okay? What really happens over there, they just pool their money in this Tanwa, and then with the pooled money or saving, they promote small scale household activities like soap manufacturing, mushroom cultivation, doll making, or other type of artistic work they can do with the income generation activity. Fine. Then next topic is agriculture marketing system, which is very important from the point of view of peasants, because it's very important for them to sell, to procure, to store their crops. Now in agriculture market system, basically the meaning is very important over there. That is a process that involves assembling, storage, processing, transportation, packaging, grading and distribution of different agricultural commodities across the country. So all these activities included over there. Again, agriculture marketing is a process that involves assembling means gather all the crops, gather all the all things, everything which the peasants want to sell, then store all the crop, process them to make it available for the final consumer, transportation so that make it available at a particular time or at right time to the consumer. Then packaging should be there, proper packaging so that it can be protected from pest and all other insects. Grading should be there. Grading means the categorization of crop as per their quality, like A grade, B grade, C grade, like this type of grading is given in the case of rice, wheat and all. And then distribution of different agriculture commodities across the country. Now the distribution part is there. So this is all included in agriculture marketing, which is very important for the point of view of peasant. So agriculture marketing system is should be very efficient enough so that farmer can give their crop, they should not be wasted, and at proper time, reasonable price, and they should earn their own part of profit from this crop, and the goods should be available to the consumer, because this is the thing of necessity, and that is very important from the point of view of any economic development. Now problem faced by farmer is manipulations by big traders. Definitely when the crop has been prepared, then the manipulations or the negotiation from the big traders have been started, and for getting them even the margin profit or available profit, farmer suffered a big loss for the future. So the farmer should not take the decision in the way so that the whole benefit goes to big traders and no benefit goes to them. Then lack of market information. Many times farmer don't know the market. They sell their product at very low price due to the lack of information. They don't know about the price, they don't know about the availability, they don't know about the demand and supply over there. Next is lack of storage facilities. Many times they don't have the storage facility. They want to sell out their crops at once and want to earn the price or money for that. and that has been observed that 10% of good produce in a farms are wasted due to lack of storage. But the big farmers, they are having the storage, so they try to purchase this agriculture product or agriculture crop just after that, and because they are having storage facility with them. So government should provide enough storage facilities at very cheapest rate to these farmers. Now, measures to improve agriculture marketing. How can agriculture marketing can be improved? So there are measures are given, that is a regulated market, infrastructural facilities, cooperative marketing, and then different policy instruments that will be discussed.